Gibbs, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
To still be out a few more races at least.
Okay.
Still everything's still week to week, but we're still working through all the process. But at this point, I'm still sitting out.
All right, hang on a second. We're getting ready to start the show. Actually, we already did. The lead-in finished while you were talking. I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing. We already have Eric McClure on the line, talking with him. Eric, why don't you guys give us a little bit of a background of your racing career, how you got into racing, so some of the new people out there will know something about you.
Well, racing is something that's been in the family for several years. My family had the Morgan McClure team in the Sprint Cup Series. That recently shut down, but they had a really long time there. So I grew up around the sport. I grew up working in the shop as I got older, and then I developed a love for racing. So once I graduated college, went racing at the local stock track in Coburn, Virginia. I had some success, and just kind of jumped right in with both feet to the Nationwide Series, and that's where we're still today.
Well, good. So anyway, I'm going to go back and repeat what we already said. Like I said, when we originally were talking, we weren't actually on air. You were involved in a pretty hefty wreck out there at Dega during the Nationwide race. How's things going for you?
Well, things are okay. Obviously that was a pretty intense accident, the worst one I've ever had. And we've battled some things with the head injury and the, some of the bruising and swelling, the internal things that were mentioned in the press release. And every day we're a little bit strong, not progressing quite as quickly as we had hoped. We're still, not medically cleared to jump back in the car. So that's disappointing from a personal standpoint. But Jeff Green, obviously being a former champion of the Nationwide Series, is doing a good job in the car, and he's providing some good feedback for the team that hopefully when I get back in the car we can we can pick up a little bit or progress a little bit further. But just right now I'm trying to do all the right things medically to get back in the team, and we're just on a wait and see basis.
How's your little doctor doing for you? Is she helping you out a lot?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Just, there's been a lot of support from everyone, people both in the industry. And at this point, I would take anybody that said it was okay to go back. I would say, look, it's okay, and we'll jump forward. But right now, it's just incredibly frustrating.
What I was referring to was your daughter.
Oh, yeah, well, I thought that's what you were saying, but I wasn't sure, so I just sort of winked. You know what? She thinks that Dad needs to just retire. She doesn't like doing the doctoring very much, but she's there every day, and she thinks it's fun to come and push on the bruises and bring the stethoscope out and check the heart. And it's really cute, but now she's convinced she knows what's going on, and in truth, she probably is better than I do. But they're really sweet, and the best medicine through this whole deal is the family and their support. And Obviously I want to get back in the race car, but it's not all bad either.
Yeah, I know you don't mind vacations, but this is not the way you planned on having one, right?
No, not at all. We do a lot of things together as a family, and that's good. And I'm glad, they were with me when the accident happened, or they were at the track, and very blessed for that, that they've been able to do things and be there with me. But I didn't expect an extended vacation in the middle of the season. But I'll be honest with you, it's a neat perspective to sit on the pit box and watch the race and listen to how Jeff communicates with the crew. A lot of times, if you look back at times he's got in the car in practice, or times that we based off last year from the last few races, and almost identical speeds every time he gets in the car. But the crew is very valuable. I believe that's one of my weaknesses is how to get the crew to make the car better. So it's neat for me to listen to him. But at the same time, definitely would love to be back in the car. But it's made me appreciate the opportunity to drive a little more. So probably won't be taking that for, and may not take myself too seriously when I get back.
Well, good. It's nice to know that you're getting better. I'm sure that just like you said, it's driving you crazy. You said what was it? You remember? The not Talladega Nights. Cold Trickle, Days of Thunder. Yeah. Sitting there watching somebody else racing your car, it ain't no fun at all.
It's not. There's no. We say the right things, we do the right things, and you mean them, and you want. I want Jeff to do well, I want the race team to do well, but I feel like I have equity built up in that car, and I feel like that's my speed, and any driver would. It doesn't matter if it's the Nationwide Series or late models or street stock or anything else. You feel like that's your race car. It doesn't matter, if you're winning races or not, or championships or not. You feel like that's your position, and it is painful to watch somebody else do it. And it was the same way for me as a competitor back when I coached Little League. The year I stopped doing that to race full time, someone came to the team, and it was hard to watch somebody do what you do and what you love to do. And I think that's the biggest challenge for any athlete when they're out is watching someone fill their spot, and it's more mental than it is anything else. So I feel like we can overcome that, and I believe that I can be as realistic as the next person and just understand that there's not a whole lot I can do about the situation, and be as positive as we can and be a big cheerleader for the team and just be ready to go when we're 100%.
Cool. I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed is that all of a sudden you got a whole lot of surge of fans, and I hate to see it happen that way. I'd rather get everybody to get to know you because of the type of person you are and how good a driver you are, and not because you got involved in a big crash.
Sure, it's a bit more notoriety than I've had. Obviously, if you type in my name on YouTube, you see all my wrecks. I usually have one good one a year, but it's not as big as that. But I really, short of winning the race, I'm not sure that even finishing in the top 10, which I felt like we had an opportunity to do, would have garnered as much attention for us. And obviously, when you come into this sport, I feel like I'm a nice guy. I feel like people that take the time to get to know me like me, and I feel like I'm a pretty good race car driver. But when you come into the sport, you never dream of being known for a less than stellar reason, or you never feel like you'll have struggles or you'll go through something like that. But at the same time, I really appreciate the outreach. It's been really good. You look at Twitter and Facebook, that's really jumped up as far as people on my account. But it's really nice and encouraging to go to an appearance or be at the racetrack and have somebody say, "Hey, we like you, or we pull for so and so, but we want to see you get back in the car." And it's really humbling and encouraging to know that a guy like myself that runs in the middle of the pack and somewhat anonymous in the grand scheme of the sport, has people that come up and pat you on the back like that, and that's been a real big deal for me and my family, and I really appreciate it.
So, Eric, what are the doctors actually saying about your injuries as far as your head and your bruising?
We're just still dealing through the effects of all that, the bruising and the healing process from from my body is getting better, and that's starting to ease a little bit. I feel like the largest obstacle we have is the effects of the concussion. This, was not my first one, so it's taken a little bit longer to heal than the past ones, and obviously that's a sign or a product of having more. I do want to say I'm very fortunate it wasn't worse than that. Obviously NASCAR's done a fantastic job with all the safety, and I feel very blessed to be a part of an organization in the industry that takes so much pride in that. But, for me, it's we're just fighting some effects. You can tell something's not right, and there's still a few things that aren't 100% that we're going through testing every week and evaluations. And it seems like what they're saying is it's just going to take time to heal, and that could be a week from now, that could be a month from now. No one really knows because there's no consistent pattern with this type of injury. So, right now, officially, we're on a week-to-week basis, and I would hate to speculate on when all this will be 100%. But it could be soon. It could not be. But I certainly had planned on racing this weekend. It just didn't work out as hoped. So I don't think there's anything significant going on. It's just something that's going to take a little bit more time.
Right. Do you feel like some of the equipment failed and that's why you got injured, or did the belts just grab you different, or your helmet was loose, or what? I know the big tumble can affect you, but is the way you guys are strapped in the seats, you would have thought you've seen so many other people walk out with no injuries.
It really boils down to just impact, and the impact, the numbers of that have not been released, but it was very significant. One of the top impacts that's been recorded in the modern era, I've been told. But I believe that, obviously we had a brake failure. That's us into that situation, that angle, that speed. The belts grabbed. Obviously there was some bruising from the belts, which I would expect there to be at that impact. But the belts did everything they were supposed to do and kept it from being worse than it was. The injuries just were from the size of the impact. I mean, there's really, you're strapped in good. You don't, you minimal moving from the compartment once you have the impact. But obviously, your brain and other parts, they can't stop. They just, slam forward, and that's really where the injuries came from. It was almost a perfect storm of all the variables working together to cause that type of impact with that type of injury. So I don't think that anything failed other than the brake. All the data we're getting from NASCAR shows everything was positive, but they do have the car in possession, and they'll be evaluating it further, and look forward to hearing back from that. But at this point, there's no reason to believe that any of the safety stuff failed to do its job.
All right. Are they letting you do anything around the shop? I mean, things to help out, or just stuff to keep you busy?
I've been to the shop a few times. I'm in the doctor in the Charlotte area, so I stop by the shop. I don't live near the shop, so I can't be there every day. But, I've asked what I can do to be of service, because I feel helpless when I go to the racetrack because I'm not doing what I'm there to do. And I'm watching the other guys work on the car. I'm watching guys do things, and I feel like there's something I need to be doing to help. But really, the guys, they're just encouraging me to rest. They want me to be there for the moral support, and they feel like I'm their driver. And I just sit there and try to help out if there's anything I can do. But most of the time, I sit there with Wes, the crew chief, Wes Ford, and watch the races that happen, listen to the radio, look at the monitors, and see if there's something I can learn. At this point, the physical activity isn't encouraged. So I just try to be there and be supportive of the race team. Those guys work really hard, and we're a small team compared to some of the larger organizations. So a lot of the guys take on double and triple the tasks of a normal race team employee. So I just sit there and try to help them. If there's something I can do, I will. If not, I'll just sit there and be a cheerleader. And that's not obviously what I want to do, but it's the thing I can do to help the team the most right now.
Now, hopefully you're taking rest. You're not working on any more girls, are you?
No. We're pretty busy with 4 girls right now. We're actually at a water park. It's a hotel we're staying in Charlotte. There's an indoor water park here by the Speedway, so we're they're out there playing in the pool, and I came out here to talk to you guys, and yeah, fortunately it's not anything strenuous, so I can just stand there and watch them. You know, because it's a challenge to try to do anything else. But I don't see four's a pretty good number. I like number 4, so that's where we'll stop for right now, and see how it progresses.
You planning on the number 4 like when y'all had the Sprint Cup car?
Yeah, that's a good number. And we got four little girls, and 3 of them can walk, and it's chasing them around the whole lot. So I don't know that we have time for anything else. So this is I told somebody, I said, you know, going to the racetrack provides the best opportunity to rest that I've ever had, and normally it was the other way around. You come home to rest, but here we go on the road to rest. So you know, taking advantage of that. But you know, really, it's just for me, it's just hurry up and wait, and just sit here and try to be a good sport.
Well, good. I mean, you've got a heel. That's what it's all about. You know, I know that firsthand. You know that.
Uh-huh.
But so, I mean, well, hey, being in the pool, you should be able to get some hydrotherapy out of that routine.
That's it. I think if I told them if they would let me go down the slides, you know, I could get that water pressure on my back, and that would make that feel better. But they don't seem to think that's a marvelous idea. But sure, I'll try anything at this point. Just sit down at the pool and you know, kick back until time to go to the racetrack. But I'm enjoying the time. You know, I wish there was more time to rest. But really chomping at the bit to get back in the car. I just feel like that's where I need to be, which is true of anybody that is in sport, no matter the level. So I'll do whatever they say to get back as fast as possible, and hopefully we'll have some positive updates pretty soon.
Well, that's good. So other than that, any good things looking forward in the future here for you?
Well, you know, obviously we've enjoyed a long relationship with the Hefty and Reynolds brands, and everything's progressing along there, and we're already in the planning stages for 2013, and just excited. You know, not really sure what's going to happen, you know, and how the plans will finalize, but we are in that stage, and I'm just so glad to be a part of the series. You know, sponsorships are very hard to come by, and you know, it's really hard as a driver to break into the series. It's all centered around sponsorship, so we've been fortunate to be here for 6 years, and look forward to a long relationship there. We've got great partners, and they seem to be committed to us for the immediate future, and just looking at making the right decisions, both for me personally and professionally, and you know, continue racing as long as we feel that's necessary, and then we'll make some plans. But definitely looking forward to next season.
Now, something way off the side here. Your original racing family, do they still have all their stuff still? I presume they still have the same the location, but I think that for a while they were renting it out to people that were rebuilding cars or something like that. Did they get rid of everything they had?
They still have the building and you know, a percentage of the equipment they once had. Obviously, the only vehicles still in there are some of my show cars and some of their old historic cars that have won races and that they have in the museum. But there's really not a whole lot of activity there. They're a handful of employees, and they're restoring and you know, restoring hot rods and doing some business and that industry for Larry and my dad and their brothers. But as far as any racing, there's not really anything going out of there. We send our late model there from time to time to get some fab work done, but other than that, most of the building's been leased out to another company that has some tornado damage, and it's just really quiet there. So it's really sad to see. You know, 'cause it's such an amazing facility, but it doesn't appear that there's going to be any racing there anytime soon.
Yeah, I couldn't count how many times I've driven by or stopped by that place.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said I couldn't even begin to think about how to count how many times I've driven by and or stopped by the shop there.
Sure, it's a really nice place. And back when they first built it, there was quite a bit of traffic that would stop in and see the cars, see the shop, see the museum, and you know, at that time, I remember being a younger guy. I was just in college, just out of high school, and I thought that place would be there forever. And and probably I appreciate it as much as I should have, or enjoy the opportunities I had there. You know, that place was the springboard of my career, having the opportunity to do some market races nationwide and even a cup race or two out of there was just an amazing privilege, and you know, I wish I had taken the time to enjoy that more. But it was a treat, and just hate to see it sit there empty.
Okay. Well, let me let you get going so that you can go back to the kids and go enjoy a hot tub or two. That should help you out.
Yeah, that's what I need. I guarantee you that.
All right. Well, go ahead and give a shout out to the sponsors here, and we'll go ahead and let you get rolling then.
Well, you know, and I really appreciate you guys having me, but as always, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Hefty brand, Reynolds brand, certainly TriStar Motorsports, and everyone that participates in that organization. And just a treat to have the opportunity to still be a part of the series and still be a part of the industry out of Southwest Virginia, and to know you guys. So we really appreciate everything you do for us, and look forward to being a part of the show here in the coming years.
No problem. We're glad to have you on anytime you want to be on here, and we'll always try to catch you when we're out there at Richmond or one of the other tracks that I get a chance to go to.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you at the next one for sure.
All right, bud.
Thank you.
All right, tell everybody we said hi.
I'll do it, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
What?
Wow. Now, me and him were talking about some stuff earlier. You heard about Elliott Sadler losing points?
How's that? I knew he was in trouble. I didn't actually see why.
His car was too low.
Right. So what did they actually take away?
6 driver points, 6 crew owner points, and I think the crew chief got fined $10,000.
Wow. That's a major swing for them.
Now, did you hear what happened at Langley?
I said that's what I was worried about, was the little reports on what's going on with CE and who's fussing about what's going on with that.
Now, when I used to be out there last year in between turns 3 and 4 watching his car, and there were several people I talked to saying, you know, how this could be doing this, and I made some suggestions based on what I knew, you know, and it was everybody saying, no, it's not that, and then lo and behold,
It is.
it was.
I guess the question will be, if he comes back with the part fixed, will he still be up front? Because that would be his argument. Oh, I just did it for this, and put it back to, okay, now it's legal. If he still goes out and wins, then maybe it truly
he should
wasn't.
have never had to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. You know. Well, they're always looking for an edge, and you know, if you're not pushing the rules, then you're not trying hard.
Well, from what I understand, it would definitely help you stick in the corners when you're going through them.
Right.
Yeah. I'll talk to you more about that afterwards. But yeah, he originally took away both wins, and then they decided to give him back the first win because they didn't catch it after the first race. They didn't catch it till after the second race, so which sort of good for him, but it really sucks because that puts him back a few points.
Well, he was cheap. You know, they'll be for sure now in every twin race. They'll be checking something in that first one. Mm-hmm. I know when we did in the modifieds the very first weekend, they checked carburetors after the first race. So the fact that they didn't check was kind of surprising. But not knowing the schedule, if they had a big break or what's going on, it may have been easier for them to do that. So, you know, and who knows if they'd have torn the car that far apart in the first one anyway. They may have just picked something simple and then tore into it further on after the second race. So, you know, he may have still ended up with the win even though they didn't do it. It's just, it's unfortunate. Everybody's always going to say, it's because it's CE. You know, the track needs him. He's threatening not to come back. We got to do something about it.
Was that what he said when they originally took away the 2?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to come back.
He put him so far back in points that it'd be too much of an uphill battle to.
Yeah, to miss 2 complete races. Said he'd been like 46 points back.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But where else is he going to go for the championship? He's got to go picking races
South
for wins.
Boston.
Then. Yeah, he could go back to South Boston. But you know, they've had too many races now. If he's missed any, he's in the same boat.
Well, in the late model, aren't they allowed X amount of races?
Well, they have to get, 20 races? And, you know, as far as national
like
points.
Top 15 races they have, or top 17 races they have, something like that?
Well, you can still run Langley looking for national points, but obviously it's track points.
Yeah.
would be gone. So then it's one of
Track points
those,
sort of suck.
you know, I don't want to run here anymore because you did this to me kind of routines. Go to South Boston instead. But
Well, not to say anything bad. I mean, when stuff like that happens, it gives the potential for new winners to pop up.
Yeah.
right,
When you don't have somebody that continuously is top dog out there.
right. Well, now the other question would be: is does Wesley's car have the same part on it?
That would be interesting.
It'd be something to need to see because Wes was up there.
He ran.
Yeah,
he finished
He
third.
was running
didn't he?
third when I remember
Yeah.
for the first race. At
Yeah.
least. I didn't see the second race.
Now, if they check CE and they check that same spot on everybody's car, and Wesley's car didn't have it, so then there could be that argument,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Okay, so obviously maybe it is a cheated part. So if they had caught it in the first race and they could have switched the part out or whatever and gone back out in the second race and still come back through the field, you would have said, well, okay, if it obviously wasn't an improvement, it's just one of those legal, not legal parts of the rules. But whenever somebody's winning every race, they're always going to try to find a way. You actually wish they would find more stuff
Yeah.
or dive in a little harder. Hey, the guy's won 10 out of the last 12. Why aren't they tearing him down even further?
Yeah.
Picking something that should be a performance advantage just because he continues to win. Because if you're a winner, you should want him to look, prove that I'm winning legit.
Yeah.
So if you got something to hide, well, the rest of us would like to find it. Anything on there? Oh, my apps. Well, I found most stuff on Race Wrap.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
where I was
Yeah.
reading.
I'm just looking to see if they had the points position.
I think they said he's 16 points back now. He's like 4th or 5th in points. You can go to points up at the top. Go to divisions. Scroll down and go late model. Usually when you click on it, it gives you points. Just go to roster and see what's up. Yeah. Oh, so they don't have the points actually posted.
Yeah.
He said he was 16 points back now with his finish. So
Because they got C. Westfall, Wayne Shreve, Casey White, Reno Marchetti.
that's just the numbers. If you look at the way they got the number system. Maybe you gotta go back
Reno,
over.
Casey, Wayne
Go
Shreve,
back up to
C.
divisions and then just pick on late model and see what comes up. Because I know the modified points were there when I looked.
Oh, maybe they're updating. Who the hell knows with these guys? Whoopie whoopie.
Profiles. Just click on late model and see if it does something.
That's what it was.
There it goes.
Okay.
Scroll down. There are your points.
Yeah, he's 12
Fifth.
out. Oh, shoot.
No, 17 according to that.
16 out. Oh, shoot. 17 out. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, 17 points. Which is still very doable. He could win all the races and
Yeah.
from here on out and probably make up a lot. Obviously, Greg's going to have some bad luck to certainly help him out. But,
It has happened before.
well, that's what Wesley's for, right?
Now, Cameron. Why would you say that?
Hey, it's been done before. Not to say that they've done it, but,
Yeah.
anytime you get a
I mean,
Teammate.
that's like Danny and Greg when
Oh,
they're
yeah.
running. I mean,
well, if you can get Wesley to finish second, then he gains an extra point, or a couple times like that, or
Yeah.
who knows when somebody else is going to figure it out and get up there and run up front. So anything's definitely possible.
nobody knows. Anywho, let's see. Was it? Oh, we got Timothy
Terry's-
Peters should be calling him here shortly.
Got Terry Bell on us.
No, well, Terry texted me. They are in a rush to get everything ready to race this weekend. She's out in Knoxville, Iowa. They've got the sprint car there. I was almost going to say sprint cup car, but it's not sprint cup. And they're running out to go see the engine man about some problem. So it's just that you'd have to call in next week. So, oh well.
She's got that heavy right foot. Must have broke something.
I don't even know if she's had a chance to get there. Well, she has to have had practice already. Let's see.
Text her and get the update.
Mm-hmm.
How's the car running?
Yeah, she said she was going with the team owner to the shop for the motor. Something about the motor. I'll find out tonight later on.
Next week's update.
Next week's update. Let me text our buddy here.
He's calling. It's not late yet. Yeah, Lamon's having twin 50s again this week. Or twin 75, something like that. So come back and see what happens.
I can tell you that.
I know I saw like they were twins. I just know they were 50s or 75.
20 Twin 50s. Mods, grand stocks are off. Super trucks 25. Pro 6s got a 30, and the carts have got a 20.
Well, Langley sure loving the twins, boy.
Oh, yeah.
They're maxing them out. I know the first few seasons running mod, we didn't run twins at all, and then all of a sudden they come up with the points,
Yeah.
and now it seems like you're
figure
running
out a
twins all the
loophole.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cheaper for them.
For who?
Probably for Langley.
No, actually, they take the winning money and split it in half.
Oh,
So, you get your stub. The sad part is you got to work twice as hard to get the same money. And you're
well, I mean, if your race was the place of the twin was actually that actual distance, you'd still have to run the same amount of distance.
you would, but everybody has a chance to work on their car. Your first race
Yeah.
you could have finished real good. Second race you burn a tire off or have a mechanical problem, which may or may not have happened. It's anytime you have a restart, there's always that chance. And now you're putting the pack all back together with some time to work on the cars. It's another aspect of racing. So,
I wonder if I should call poor Timothy.
well, if you didn't answer your text, then
Yeah, I was texting him last night. He thought the show was last night. I said, "Oh no, we can't do it.
he's on a different Wednesday than we are.
We had a sponsor meeting thing he had to go to."
Hey, wouldn't be nothing wrong with that. Sponsor meetings.
Yeah, it's next time we said that we were going to meet up because we were trying to go out when we were at Rockingham. Go out and eat supper that night or something, and that got all screwed up because the team owner decided he was taking the team out to eat. So okay, kick to the curb.
You're supposed to slide in.
No, I don't do that unless I'm
Invited.
invited. I have been in situations where I'm going out to eat with somebody, and then somebody else invites them to go out to eat, and he says, "Oh, come on with us," and reluctantly I go do it, but I will go to that person and offer to pay for my meal. And if he's okay with me eating on his dime, then I'm happy. It doesn't bother me a bit. But that's just the way I am. I've taken people out to eat before, and we'll say, okay, we're going to have 4 or 5 of us go out to eat. Next thing I know, 2 friends of somebody shows up to go out to eat, and I start saying, okay, this was not part of the plan. If you come to me ahead of time and ask, give me the option. No, because I won't say anything really to you. It's up there. It's like, when you're out there racing, somebody gets into your ass, it gets filed all the way up here for the next time.
Don't forget.
Because what I do is the next time I just don't ask them if they want to go. And then they'll bitch because, why didn't you invite me? Oh, I didn't think about it. Sorry about that.
Never crossed my mind.
Damn, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's usually you should have been nicer the last time you were there.
All right, I'm going to go around the corner. You guys can talk about some more racing stuff. Anybody else get fines over the weekend?
Not from Langley.
No, I'm talking about the other series.
Is anybody else in trouble? Well, they had the stinking All-Star race, which sucked.
Yeah.
That was about as boring. What was the point in even having the last pit stop if they're just going to roll in, stop, and roll out?
Yeah.
That-
Then I saw and heard about Earnhardt trying the thing with the tires. I'm like, And of course, that bit him, especially being on the outside row.
Yep. The whole deal with winning each segment gets to put you up front. Okay, we're kind of, if you're going to make this interesting, let's put them in the back.
Yeah.
If they're just going to sit back there and not even race each segment because now they've got a starting spot up front, kind of, there wasn't any wrecks, per se. They had the two motors blow up with the Roush guys, and the two teammates, 29 and 27, they rubbed on each other, made it, I guess, exciting for the TV crew. For the rest of us, it didn't matter. But Johnson just had the car to beat, and there wasn't nothing you could do about it. He got out front and was gone. So it was, I don't know. Compared to some of the other segments, they got all the trouble to do the pit crew challenge, and so he wins the starting spot in the front because his crew won the pit. Then they didn't have any pit crew stuff going on in the race. They had the cautions, you come and do the pit crew. But even in qualifying, they make them do a pit stop, and that involves your time to be on the pole. But then you get in the race, and the pit crews had halftime breaks and cautions, and they never had to do any kind of battling on pit road.
Yeah, sit around and eat ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. It was not very intending for all the laps they ran. They didn't run a really long segment. They were all the exact same.
I think they should take and invert them each time.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't they one time do that?
Something to make it exciting. Make Johnson work for it. If he truly had the car to beat, let's see him come through the field.
Yeah. I think they should have had Timothy Peters out there running. What do y'all think?
That definitely sounds good.
Yeah, let's mix it up with the truck guys.
Sound good to you, Timothy?
Sure, sounds great. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
We should have voted him in, right?
There you go.
Could have got Labonte out and got you in.
Well, I was hoping when the Denny Hamlin race coming that he was going to be out there because I saw his name listed. Then somebody yanked him and got him involved with sponsor stuff, and he couldn't get to it. I was really sad you didn't get to go out there and play at Richmond.
Yeah, me too. It was really cool to get the invite, but definitely have to do the first thing first, and that's take care of the sponsor obligations, and we had to fill those. So I apologize and hate that I didn't get to make it, but maybe I get the invite next year.
Now, Timothy had a little fun here on the road. He had to change a flat tire.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but not as fast as my horse racing team on pit road. But
I say, where's your pit crew and you need it?
I know. It was. It's all right. At least I had all the tools. That's the main thing.
There you go. Sort of reminds me of those Tony Stewart commercials they had where they come in and jack up something and do whatever. And as soon as you told me that you had a flat tire, all I could think of was Mark Schmuck.
Yeah, or as a good jackman when you need one.
There you go. So you've been having a really good season so far here in the Truck Series.
It's been really good. We came out of the gate strong. We missed it a little bit there at Charlotte. As long as we could have stayed out front, we were good to go. But Butch Hill made a great call with fuel strategy with our tire team in Tundra, and unfortunately, when the 30 truck hit the wall again and brought the caution out, it put everybody back on the same playing field. But if that hadn't happened, woulda, coulda, shoulda, we don't know how the outcome would have been. I think we would have had a better finish tonight. But last year there we had a really good truck, and I ended up making a bonehead move and putting it in the fence early. So at least we completed 100% of the laps, and we have top 10s in all 5 races going into Dover, and just try to keep this momentum going.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else can boast that fact.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said I don't think anybody else could boast that fact out there about having all the top races positions you've had in the races here.
I think the top 3 guys in points are the ones that finished top 10 all 5 races. So it's pretty good, man. It's going to be tough. We just need to stay on our game. We got a great thing going right now.
We're just trying to make you sound good, okay?
I hear you. I hear you.
How's things been coming now that you've got Todd Bodine on your team?
That's going good. Todd's a great guy. He brings a lot of experience to the table. So we've been good friends. But before he came to Red Horse, so it's just cool that he's my teammate. I kind of feed off each other. He can help me, and when he needs it, I can help him. So it's working out great.
Well, good. How's John been feeling with after winning the Daytona race, then getting everything that's happened to him so far?
You talking about of John?
Yeah.
things are going good with John. You know, it was great to see him win at Daytona. You know, he's had a couple of races where he's had a tough road, but you know, it's part of being a rookie and learning the ropes. So everywhere we go, Ty and I, we both try to help him. And one good thing about John is that he's a good guy, willing to listen, willing to learn. So that's, you can't ask for more of a teammate.
Yeah, we'd like to see a finish of a 17-11-7, you know?
Yeah, that would be great. It'd be great to have a 1-2-3 for Red Horse. Obviously, I'd like to lead that top three, but at this point, with the way we're running, if we can get a 1-2-3 for Red Horse and the guys that really work hard on these trucks, I think it'd be a big morale boost.
I've got two other guys in here with me, but I feel like I'm doing all the talking, and I'm not even in the picture here. I'm off to the side.
You're just rolling along so well.
I mean, well, what the heck, you know, it's nice when you know some of these guys in here and some things. Now, what have you got anything planned past this year as far as whether you're still going to stay in the trucks, or has that just been really good fit for you?
Well, right now it's a great opportunity, and you know, racing is a numbers game, performance based, and we want to keep doing our best, keep putting up numbers. And I really like the team that I'm with, Red Horse Racing. Obviously, I'm human though. If opportunity comes up on my table and it's a good move, then obviously I have to look at it. But right now, I have, you know, it's more than just business with the race team that I'm at. They're my family. So I'm really enjoying where I'm at.
What do you find you're having the hardest problems with this year so far, other than not winning? I reckon. Quit asking because he's not hearing me.
We lost him.
You still there? Hello, hello.
Must be changing the other tire.
He said he might lose his. He's traveling in the mountains. Timothy, you there? That means no.
We lost him.
So he said he'd call back in.
Finished in the top 10. You didn't think he'd have much to complain about.
Well, you want to make wins.
Well, everybody wants to make wins, but it's got to be realistic.
Because right now he's 1 point up till the last race. He was ahead in points. Now he's one lone point back in second.
Wow.
So I said if he'd had a win, it was an extra bonus point he would have had.
Points. You got to, you know, what is it? First, you have to finish before you can finish first. I know what they say.
Yeah, he's got that part hammered out.
Well, yeah, top tens. You know,
2 years ago he got the Daytona race. This year John got it. But I mean, we're going to try to set up with him so he calls in once a month and we'll go over stuff with him, what's going on at Red Horse Racing also.
Sound like his biggest hope was if Red Horse moved up versus somebody else jumping in.
What you mean, for the division or something? Or
well, if he wants to go past truck, you know, to get into nationwide, he's going to have to.
Well, I mean, I don't think Red Horse has anything in nationwide, or
right. I don't think so either.
I think all they got is trucks. I think one point we were trying to call, what's his name, Kevin Ray, I think it is, who's the car chief or whoever for the team. We were looking at trying to get Terry into one of those to run for a possible race. So, but anywho. Let's see, what were we talking about now beforehand? Roush something I heard.
No, it's the race. This weekend, All-Star race.
All-Star race.
Complaining about that. How boring it was.
Yeah, the swapping, rotate the field, hell yeah, that'd be one heck of a...
I mean, I didn't see the race before, but it seemed like they were talking about the race to get in seemed more exciting than...
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that either, because, I mean, granted, we were all out at Langley.
Yeah. When I turned it on, they were, you know, just getting ready to introduce the drivers.
Yeah. That's like today, they were playing a replay of Nationwide race. I was trying to watch it, but talking sponsors on the phone, so I was out of it.
Couldn't quite do it.
No,
Where were they at? Oh, that's right. They were at Iowa. Yeah, that was a good race.
Iowa.
was
I saw a few things. That's it.
well, it wasn't exciting as far as up front unless they had a caution. But back in the back, there was a lot of stuff going on. I didn't get to see Danica hit the wall, but she had a flat tire.
Yeah, I did see that. Tire blew out. She, of course, went into the wall.
Nobody got blamed?
Yeah, surprisingly. It's always somebody's fault.
It was Goodyear's fault.
Goodyear's fault. There you go. Tony Stewart story.
What was it? They said something about that they did something with the blowers. Closed up had her turn off the blowers to the tires. I think that's what caused it to overheat and roll it over.
She may have had like an alternator or a battery problem. Start turning everything off.
They said, "Give me 5 minutes and I'll call you back."
Find some level ground. Well, by then you might have this Chris Andrews. Who is he? It's a Sprint Cup driver. I've never heard of him. Have you?
Sprint car.
Oh, Sprint car. Oh, okay.
Dirt.
Now, he ought to have plenty exciting to say.
Okay, actually, I think I'm supposed to call him. Let me check.
Need to revise the schedule. I can't imagine how they drive those cars with the steering
call
wheel.
me because I'll forget.
Yeah, right up.
Straight in front of you and the gas and brake down.
Yeah. One of those get used to things.
I looked in a Focus Midget one time and I saw how they get in there and do all that. And you're thinking, you got to turn left, and yet you're doing stuff like this. That was really funny to see.
Well, if you've ever done any farm equipment, it's more like driving a tractor than it is for driving a car.
I was thinking of one of those little things you had when a kid. You sat on, you had to grab the thing in the middle, and you spun it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then the fact of pushing down on the pedals.
Let's see if he recognizes this number.
Send you straight to voicemail.
Hey, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Guess not. Hit the mute button on you.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Let's talk racing.
How you doing, Chris?
Good. Hey, Chris. Did you hear us the first time?
Barely, and then it cut out then.
Oh, okay. We can get you better cell phones.
There you go.
What? Yeah, I've got an iPhone here. It should be working good, but apparently not. So.
Okay.
The question may be, who's your carrier?
There you go. Probably Verizon. We have Chris Andrews on the line with us. If I remember correctly, you run sprint cars out in Ohio. Is that correct? Hello? This is getting fun with connections here.
They only have one tower in Ohio.
It's high in the middle and round on both ends. What do you expect?
Pull up the T-Mobile map and let's see if they get him. In Ohio.
And then we're going to have Timothy calling in on the other line.
Dodging mountains.
Yeah. Well, let them talk to each other.
There you go.
See what kind of interesting. And maybe we need to stay coastal, pulling people in instead of traveling. Because the guy in Charlotte, we had no problem with Eric.
Yeah, Eric, yeah.
See, we can't get a hold of Terry because she's out of town. So, see? There we go.
All right, let's see who this one is.
Domino's Pizza.
Let's talk racing.
All right, I got a signal again.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We're having loads of fun. The next guy that's supposed to be calling in, he tried to call in and his was dying too. So.
Right. Where I was coming from, when I get right here to come out of North Carolina into Virginia, it goes dead. So.
Are you still taking that long trip?
Oh yeah, I'm at the shop. I was at the shop today, and Monday and Tuesday. So.
Now, you guys know where this guy lives at?
No.
Normally, tell him where you live at, Timothy.
I live in Danville, Virginia. Call my hometown Providence, North Carolina, but reside in Danville. So I got Danville and Providence as my hometown.
And so when he goes to work, he travels all the way down to the shop.
It's a long haul.
So that's what, about every other day, or?
I just a 2-hour ride one way, so I go down and I stay a few nights and come back home. Just see around and stuff, but you guys know I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like Robert Richardson. He lives down in Texas, and he comes up to the shop periodically. Of course, he flies up, or sometimes he drives up. But they eventually put him a studio apartment above the shop so he'd have some place to stay.
Cool.
Tell him to fix you up over there.
Say that again?
Get Red Horse Racing and get you fixed up.
They already do. They let me drive that 17 Thunder, so that's all I can ask for.
All right. Well, it doesn't hurt to whine a little bit.
My whining could be the alternative. You have to mind your P's and Q's, you know. But, you know, they might do that, though. You never know.
Oh, I'm sure you have a nice enough attitude. Everybody likes you. What the heck? I have yet to ever see a driver pick a fight with you or anything yet. Has that ever happened that I may have missed?
You know, I've had my moments with a few folks, but nonetheless, I treat everybody like I would want to be treated, and I bring my friends to the racetrack.
That's a good thing. I mean, I know that I've been around many conversations at the end of the race day for you guys, and you've always been really good with the other drivers, even when there was a tiff on the road. On the track. And at the end of the day, you know, it's just like they say, you know, you're friends till you get to the racetrack, and then you're friends again when you're done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I can get along with anybody, but it's like I said, I bring my friends to the track, and that's me and my Red Horse Racing team. You know, when it gets down to doing business, you know, it comes down to it. You need to do the old bump and run to win a race, and I'll do it. You know, if you wanna have a cheer wine or Coke after the race to talk about it, I'm good with that too.
There you go.
Wouldn't be racing if you weren't rubbing the race. Anything happens in the last 5 laps, you got to expect it.
Yeah. You tell me any race car drivers that you met that have satisfied with finishing second, and then I got oceanfront property.
I know that number.
I've heard rather few of them say they'll dump their mother to get the win. You know.
Oh yeah.
There's rubbing's racing, but dumping somebody's different. A pro's supposed to be able to rub you coming to the finish and move you out of the way, and the other guy finishes second, not put you in the wall, tear your equipment up, and then he goes on and wins. We can't all be Joey Logano.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's definitely a different style of moving folks out of the way. It's across the board. I believe you could circle all of the above if that was multiple choice on how to do it. Either way you look at it, if you do it right or wrong, the guy will still be upset at you. But don't call it big time auto racing for nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's the nicest thing I like to see is when they go to do the maneuver, make it a finesse maneuver. Don't be a put it in the wall maneuver. I mean, I help spot with some of the guys locally here, and that's one of the things we'll actually be talking about on the radio when the race is going on. No, you don't want to hit him that hard at that spot. Wait till he's just going in, having to turn that wheel and just give him a little push to shove him up a little bit and just turn left and go under.
Yeah, either way you look at it, it's kind of crazy, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah. I mean, people like to see it. I mean, there are some people that like to see the crashes. I'd much prefer seeing people doing the finesse stuff, tapping them, getting them squirrely, making it more competitive instead of just flat out put them in the wall. Granted, if you want to go to an enduro race and do something like that, that's one thing. People expect that. But with you guys at your level, it's nice to see everybody be able to finish with all the sheet metal still on the cars and the trucks.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't like seeing tore up race cars or race trucks. Those guys in the back shop work too hard.
Yeah, they want a little time off.
Yeah. You guys are going too fast. It's not like you're running a local quarter-mile track where you hit the wall. It's one thing. The speed you all are running, people really can get hurt. And I know watching the TV, you feel like some of those guys forget about that.
Yeah, they do. And it depends on you. You have to pick and choose your battles. And, at the end of the day, you have to be smart about it. some guys that you race with are, and some aren't.
You always have that one point in time, though, that it's not your battle and you wind up in the middle of it anyway.
That's right. And that's everywhere you go.
Yeah. We had Eric McClure on as our first guest for the evening here. He's still waiting to get cleared, and that's one of the things he wound up being in the middle of somebody else's crash.
I know, and I'm glad that he's okay, because if it would have been earlier time, then he might not be so okay, if you know what I mean. So,
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that everything went good and we had minor injuries. I mean, that was a pretty scary road.
Cool. Well, let us go ahead and let you get going so you can navigate and not blow out another tire.
I'm sorry. Sorry for the confusion, guys.
That's no biggie. Come on now. It ain't nothing but a thing.
Being back at where I could be all concentrated on you, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so I apologize.
No biggie. Well, go ahead and make sure you thank your sponsors, and we'll let you get rolling on down the road.
Oh, yeah. Tire Kingdom, big supporter, Toyota, Red Horse Racing. Couldn't do it without them. Thank you guys for what you do.
All right, Timothy. You have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Where did he race before he went to the Truck Series?
Why did you ask him?
It just actually dawned on me. He's doing well. Since you're saying he's from Virginia, being from Danville, which is down the road from South Boston, I would have thought maybe he was a South Boston late model driver or something like that.
Well, Danville's his hometown. I mean, what I was talking about earlier when I'm out there at Martinsville, it was nothing for me to be sitting there and him, Todd Bodine, and somebody else, and they're talking about going and get something to eat after the race, and say, well, just come on down to my house, and we'll just have a little convoy. Everybody will drive the RVs down to his house. He says, plenty of room to park, so go down there and have a little eat out down there. So, I mean, that's his area, so I'm sure he's been racing in that area in the late model division.
Yeah. But you always want to hear how a local guy does it.
Yeah.
How he finds a way to move up, what he did to get seen.
Well, next time he's on the show, you can ask him.
He was more worried about his tire and trying to get his phone. And
I mean, let's see if we can get a hold of Chris here.
Get him back on.
Yeah.
Tell him he should have bought the 4S instead of the 4. There's that phone.
Oh gosh.
Hello?
Chris,
How's it going?
you sounded much better.
Yeah, a little bit. Can you hear me now?
We were thinking maybe you might need, what was that? You need one of the S series or
Yeah,
something?
you need a 4S instead of a 4.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That or the fancy covers blocking my signal.
There you go.
Something. What's going on?
Just been sitting here. We've talked with Eric McClure and Timothy Peters so far tonight, checking to see how Eric's feeling. I thought he had been cleared, but apparently he hasn't been to be able to go back into the nationwide racing.
Cool.
I happened to see on NASCAR.com where they showed the list of entry drivers. His name was on there, so.
Okay.
But it ain't really.
All right. So are we on the air right now, or are we just...
Oh yeah, we're still on the air.
Okay.
We're the nice thing about having an internet TV show, you're not governed by what's in front of you, what's behind you, or commercials that you have to have. In fact, actually, most of the time we go straight on through, and anything that we have to do with commercials, other than the drivers thanking their sponsors, is played at the ass end of everything.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. So, what do you got in mind? What's going on?
All right, Chris. Well, here, you're new to the show. We want everybody to know something about you. Why don't you do us a little bio about what you did to get into racing, what you're doing now, and what you're hoping to be doing in the future, and go ahead and run through that for us.
Yeah, sure. Basically, I'm 24 years old, and I started racing back when I was about 9 years old. My dad owns like a miniature golf and go-kart, concession cart business, and I was raising hell ever since I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old on them go-karts. And obviously that led into racing go-karts, and started racing 305 sprint cars when I was 15 years old at Attica and Fremont Speedway, and progressed into the 410 sprint cars when I was 18 years old. So, and I've been doing it, the 410 deal pretty much ever since. And, there's a lot of ups and downs, but it teaches you quite a bit about life. So, just racing away here, and I guess my future goals, I'm very happy with where I'm at right now, and I drive for the best car owners in the pit area, the Brehmeister racing team, Sonny and Sharon Brehmeister. And I look to be with them for quite a few years, but I guess looking 10, 20 years in advance, my ultimate goal would be to run like a Camping World truck or a nationwide car around, Daytona, or, to get into that type of stuff a little bit. That's really what I've always wanted to do, just the dollar signs is really what matters once you get into that type of racing. So someday I'll get my stuff together, and hopefully we'll be able to go that route.
Have you done any pavement racing other than the sprint car?
I've tested the Hooters Cup car down in Texas for Steve Turner, who owns all them NASCAR teams, and just didn't get my shot, so moved on, and that's really my extent of a asphalt career. I have an iRacing simulator, if that counts, but that's about it. That's all I really do. So.
Do you even have a pavement track anywhere around your area, or?
Oh yeah, we're flooded with every type of racetrack where I'm from. I'm from Sandusky, Ohio, which is about an hour east of Toledo, which obviously everybody knows if you're into asphalt racing. Toledo Speedway, and Mansfield Speedway, which has since shut down, and Sandusky Speedway, and there's a long list of them. So, but no, anyways, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing right now, and like I said, I really couldn't be any happier with where I'm at. So, taking it one weekend at a time so far.
Well, you're going to need to obviously find some way to get into the pavement to try and move up. Do you even talk with the team about transferring to maybe a late model at one of those bigger tracks, or are you just going to stick with the sprint cars until the money shows up?
Oh, well, actually, I've got Four Sport Racing literally is up the road from me about a quarter mile, and Johnny Sauter and Matt Kraft and Frank Kimmel, they all drive for him, and I hang out up there. As far as maybe a connection or two that from that place that might lead me to something, that's about my only hope. My dime will only take me so far, and it's probably not going to be in that racing, but hopefully one day, just one day, something will happen. I'll wait and see. So we'll just kind of wait it out.
It's kind of sad sitting there at 24 thinking that you're almost over the hill compared to the way the NASCAR direction seems to go.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think about that quite a bit, but sometimes there's a day when you need to wake up and realize that chasing a dream isn't really helping your bank account too much. I guess I kind of had that happen to me a couple of years ago. I finally realized that where I race at is about as tough as it gets, and I actually see that as somewhat of a downfall for me, because it is so tough here. Even the best of the best come in here and can't even do anything. They barely even make the show. I come from Attica and Fremont Speedway, where the locals will just tear them up. Outlaw guys come in and they can barely make the shows. Sort of outlaw people, that is. I don't know if you have a bunch of asphalt people watching the show. I'm just trying to explain myself. But yeah, we have one of the toughest local racetracks, or a group of racetracks in the country. Everybody's got the best of everything, and I think that if you about a couple of us younger guys that actually race week in, week out, took us around the country, like your Kyle Larsons and oh geez, there's a few more I can't name right now, but you know, if we did that type of racing where we're in 3 or 4 different race cars a week, I mean, I think we could do almost as good. You know, like Kyle Larson, he's pretty good right now. He's definitely earning his stripes, but you know, I just think that as tough as it is for us, it's hard for one guy to shine. You know, but that's where I'm racing at. That's where a lot of us are racing at, and we have a ball doing it. We just beat the crap out of each other each week, just trying to get somewhere. But that's what makes it fun. So
do you have any plans in any of the bigger sprint car races like Knoxville or anything like that?
As of right now, we're not going to Knoxville, but we look to do the Kings Royal weekend at Eldora Speedway, as well as the Bad Doty Classic at Lima Land Speedway. As far as anything else, maybe probably Speed Week, but really other than that, I really don't see anything else too spectacular on our schedule, minus Attica and Fremont. So.
Now, what does Sarah think about all this?
Excuse me?
What does Sarah think about all this stuff you're doing?
Oh, well, she's just along for the ride. Pretty much what I do is where I go is where she goes, you know. She's pretty low-key. Just laid back. Yeah, she's a pretty good girl. She takes a lot of my crap, so not many of those around, so I'll hang on to her for a little bit.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Does she like with all the stuff and everywhere you go and?
What's that?
I mean, does she enjoy doing all the stuff you're doing with it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say she's a diehard race fan, but you know, she enjoys being around the people and you know, like Attica and Fremont is a very tight knit, family oriented group of people between the crews and the drivers, and you know, if we're not at the racetrack racing each other, we're at each other's houses, you know, just hanging out, or whether we're out at the local you know, restaurant or whatever. You know, everybody's always doing stuff with one another. So you know, it's a really easygoing group of people, and you know, she gets along with everybody. I get along with everybody, and you know, like I said, there's more to it than just racing, and I really appreciate, you know, having good friends to race with, and race. You know, you can race hard with one another, and know you're not going to tear each other up, and you know, that's a big part of why I like racing. I race at.
So the good thing is that she's a Chris Andrews fan anyway.
Yeah. So anyways, back to racing. But yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, that's just me all in a nutshell. There, I'm not too important. Just a regular guy here in Dundee, Ohio.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing, of course, is being able to enjoy what you like to do, and apparently running the sprint cars is your thing for now. Of course, you have ideas of things you want to try to do later on, and
yeah, definitely. You know, I definitely want to do some things later on. Just have to work at it. You know, nothing usually just shows up at your doorstep, but you know, that does happen for some people. But my luck, that's probably not going to happen. So I just have to keep racing hard, and hopefully one day everything will fall into place, and I'll be able to at least fulfill some of my dreams, I guess. We'll wait and see. So,
if we're slow to respond, we're looking at your pictures on your Facebook page.
Sure.
Something about taking a speedometer picture at 110?
Yeah, it's a rental car.
Well, what kind of car was it?
I don't remember. That was a couple years ago. It was brand new, though. I can tell you that much. Darn near brand new. That was another time. I can't remember which one that was. I've been in a few rental cars, but I think that was the one. I'm not sure.
I wish I could have taken some pictures of speedometers in some of the cars I had.
Well, they probably didn't have cameras back then, did they?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
So try again. This is a 70 Plymouth GTX sucker.
Probably one of those Polaroids where it comes out the bottom.
Where are you guys there?
We're in Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're younger or older?
Let's
We're all
see.
older.
If you're, how old are you? You're what, 20?
24.
24? We're all older.
I'm old, so what's that consider you?
Ancient.
They probably want to try to plug ancient on me, but they still aren't as quick as I am.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. That's cool.
We have lots of fun here. I mean, we have charity events. We go out and play in doing go-kart racing, and at some of the times it's hilarious.
Yep. Cool. Good deal. Yeah, everybody needs guys like you that like to do this type of stuff. There's not many of you guys around.
And I mean, this whole show is basically done for free. We talk with a lot of people. We get a lot of people out there. People get to know them. I keep telling Timothy Peters, I've known him for a while, I said, Timothy, I'm going to make it because it's this video, and we sometimes will put pictures of you up there, and sooner or later people are going to notice your face when you're in a store.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. Yeah, he's getting a long ways now.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a really nice young man. Good attitude. Plays well with others. That's hard to say about race car drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very hard to say.
Hey, Cameron, I noticed your face started grinning really hard on that one.
You know. Sometimes you have to play nice, sometimes you don't, you know.
Cameron runs Legends and Modifieds.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen those. Actually, I did I tested the car out in a late model down in Caraway Speedway, North Carolina, and I got to watch a Legends car for the first time. And those things are pretty wicked. I'd like to do that sometime. That'd be really, really neat. But yeah, you guys got a lot of guts to roll around in a little car like that, going that fast. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, but we'd say the same thing about you driving around with a drive shaft going between your legs and all that horsepower on that big tire. It's,
We're not right. Not.
I mean, we may be just as sideways, but we're doing it on the pavement. You're doing it in the dirt.
Yeah, doing it in the dirt. That's right. That's what they say.
I was watching something the other night. I couldn't get to sleep, and they had some crazy ass show on, and it was about mishaps. And they showed somebody was driving their sprint car, and it did a bicycle maneuver type thing, and all of a sudden they got hung up on the top wire on the fence, upside down.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember seeing that same thing. I think it was a non-wing car, wasn't it?
It was what?
I think it was a non-wing car, like a USAC car. Or...
Yeah, I think it was a USAC car, non-wing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he did a good job.
I tell you what, being hung by the wire, the fall wasn't too bad on it. Then didn't get badly broke at least.
No, he planned that one out pretty good.
Yeah, I bet.
He did pretty good on that one.
Have you done any rolls in your car?
Ah, Jesus.
When haven't they?
Well, I mean him specifically.
Lately. Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably my worst track was at Eldora, probably a good 3 years ago. Pretty much almost peeled the cage right off of it. One more roll and it would have been bad news. So, yeah, I've been there, done that. We've flipped about everything there is to flip, and well, I'm still here. So, guess the Maxim chassis is doing its job.
There you go. Yeah, now, Tommy down at the end, I don't know if you're watching the show on video or not, or just listening, but Tommy, he's done a lot of crew chiefing. I don't know, have you actually ran anything other? Didn't you run karts or something for a little while?
Yeah, I just haven't had the time or the funding to get moved up to something else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My only thing I ever done was race late models. Well, I did do some enduro That's some wild shit.
I thought that was late model.
Just nowadays, lately, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, actually, a couple of times I was running, it felt like it too. Jesus. Rolling a late model is not an easy task.
Yeah.
As well as trying to get airborne in one.
Yeah.
I've done that twice. One time it climbed up and landed on top of another car.
Yeah. Well, usually it's not that hard to do in a late model.
What the funniest part or the strangest part was, after all was said and done, the only thing that got broke on there was the front bumper bar on the car. And that's when it slid off the other car and hit the inside wall.
Really?
Yeah. On the bottom of the car, because I climbed up his left rear tire, he had an engine go, and he jerked right down in front of me as I was going past him. And so I had a spiral on the drive shaft. Actually, I had a tire mark on the oil pan, spiral on the drive shaft, and marks on the rear end and the fuel cell.
Wow.
Looks like you did a number on him. That's good.
Hey, came down and tore the hell out of him, though.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, hey, Chris, we'll go ahead and let you get out of here. Go ahead and give a shout-out to your sponsors, unless you guys got some more questions to throw out there to them.
Yeah, like I said, I really appreciate the Burmeister family, Sonny and Sharon Burmeister, for putting me in the car, and Mikey Summers, my crew chief, he's great. Lucas Oil and K&N Filters and Maxim Race Chassis, Kistler Racing Products, Kistler Engines. I can't thank them all enough. So we've got a 2-day All-Star show this weekend at Fremont Speedway on Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully both those nights we're sitting on the front stretch. So watch my Facebook, that's all I got to say. I'll let you know how I do.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, you have a good night, and we will get you back on here another time.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Chris.
Yep, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
He's out of here.
Yep. Well, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
For people having crappy cell phones and having to change tires, I mean, jeez.
Once we got him, right?
Yeah.
Got him on the screen. So.
Yeah. So what'd you say was coming up at Langley this weekend?
To win the 50s for the late models.
Again.
So we'll see if CE can come back if he decides to show up.
Yeah.
Shit, that would have been a good. I wish I'd have known that earlier. I didn't find out till about midway through the day, but I already had everybody booked. Wonder if we can do a surprise call.
There you go. Grab him late.
Oh, God. Nah.
I'm sure he doesn't have anything positive to say, and
Yeah.
it's probably wearing him out by now with all the talk he has to do about it. So
I might give him a shot later on tonight, see how things are kicking. Well, everybody, we appreciate you stopping by and enjoying our hour-plus show tonight. We enjoyed it, and hopefully y'all did too. We'll see you next week. See ya! Say bye, everybody.
later.
Bye, everybody.
There you go.
At least somebody's got it right.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driving 42 car on the thing, Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.